What's up everybody, welcome back to another video by TrunkFreshGreen34, and today we have something a little bit different. I thought it would be kind of cool to show off my Radiator Springs town layout, which I've never really done before. It's changed a few times over the years, but it's been this particular way for, what is it, I want to say 2.5 years now, and you've only really gotten glimpses of it because typically when I record videos, I record them right here. So you only get to see the cozy cone, but I thought I would show you the entire thing today and walk you through what my setup looks like. Just, I don't know, just for fun. I thought it'd be kind of cool to do that. And it's also a way to show off the Radiator Springs buildings that I have because I'm probably not going to do full videos on them at any point in the future, so I thought this would be a fun way of doing things. So, without further ado, I guess let's get started with arguably the biggest piece of the layout being the Cozy Cone Motel, the Precision Series set. This I got also 2.5 years ago. So basically, right when I got this playset, I needed space for it, so I completely redid my cars room, and that is when the last collection video I did, that was filmed the day I set all of this up, basically, because the way the room was before, I would not have been able to fit this cozy cone anywhere, but now, obviously, I can fit it. So, the set itself is incredible. Definitely one of my favorite items in my collection. Obviously, it is a bit underscaled. That is a common complaint about Precision Series sets, or I don't know if it applies to all of them, but some of them, such as the Cozy Cone. But overall, it is a very, very nice set. Now, you'll notice that there are many cars on my layout, and some of these cars are there for a specific reason, and some of them I've just placed there because I have no room for them anywhere else. So generally what I do when I get duplicates is I look for ways that I can incorporate them into my town layout and populate them, or populate it with more cars. I don't do that with all of my duplicates. I have a container full of extra ones that either wouldn't fit into this space or just are somewhat significant, like they're variations. But for the most part, this is what I do with my duplicates. So, for example, I have World Grand Prix McQueen and Sally chilling out there. And then we have Flo, Maddie, and this isn't a duplicate. This is the Sally that comes with the Cozy Cone set, but I put it here because this is the button that lights up the set, and I hide the button by putting Sally there. So that's kind of cool. Now I have the trio of girls set up there. And then I have the nighttime semis, so like Jerry Recycled Batteries, I believe that's Chet Boxcar, Paul Valdez. I have those guys chilling because I don't have space for any of them, so they're just there. And then over here, I have this construction area set up. So you'll notice that I have a couple of signs and cones and stuff throughout the layout. Those are from a variety of non-cars sets that I had as a kid. Obviously the sets are long gone now, but I did keep some of the parts to create scenes like this. I have two Bessies. I have a die-cast one and a plastic one from a playset. I've just never gotten rid of the plastic one. And then we have Frank here. So basically the idea here is that this area is under construction, and that's why I have the road work there blocked off, the two Bessies, and that caution folding sign there. So that is the Cozy Cone. Definitely, like I said, one of my favorite items in my collection. And then we move on here to this bit, this little item here, which is supposed to be, in my head, Sarge's surplus hut because it's generally the same shape. What this actually is this is a Thomas and Friends Trackmaster piece, I believe, for it's like Jeremy's airport hangar, I'm pretty sure. Got rid of that over a decade ago, but I kept this because, like I said, it kind of looks like Sarge's hut, and I obviously don't have the real Sarge hut, so I'm just using this as a makeshift one for the time being. You can see I tore off the sticker that had like Jeremy's name on it. And right now, this is where one of my extra sheriffs is hiding. Because I don't actually have an extra Sarge to display in it, but I do have an extra sheriff. So that is that area of town. You have this strip of road that goes right into the surplus hut. Now, generally, what I do with the surplus hut is I have it right here. But when I record videos, I need space, so I move this back. But recently, I've just kind of left it here. So I guess in my hypothetical town layout, this road is like the main road in, and then you would turn here and follow it all the way to the Curio shop, which, as you can see, the paved road leads right into the fence, so you would have to turn right again, and then you get to this little area here, and you can either go up back there, which has nothing, or you can turn left and go into downtown Radiator Springs. So this is another one of those extra signs that I was talking about. This is a, I guess it's like, could be like a caution sign, just to drive carefully, I suppose. And that leads us to Flo's V8 Cafe. So these 4 sets that make up downtown Radiator Springs are the original sets from 2006 or 7. I don't know what year I got these all exactly, but these are the original versions, not the Precision Series versions. And yeah, here we have Flo's. So we've got Rust-eze Cruz Ramirez and the fabulous Hudson Hornet, 2 very different generations, chatting it up at Flo's. You have a race team Mater there, and we got the King filling up. I used to have this area a lot more full, but there just wasn't enough room for stuff, so I had to split some of them up. So like I said, you can follow that downtown road, and you can go this way, and sorry for the glare, there's like a massive window right there. You can go down that way, and so this is Ramone's. We have a yellow Ramone outside of his shop because I needed an extra Ramone to display with it, and fortunately I have an extra yellow Ramone. We have an Otis there, and then that leads to a dead end, and that is where my Scott Tiller is currently parked. Now, normally what I do is at Christmas time, I have a box of Christmas decorations, and I fill up the town with like Christmas trees and light posts and stuff. And generally, I put Christmas trees back in here just because I don't use this space. But I took the Christmas trees down, and I never moved Scott back to behind there because he's supposed to be like in back there. But also, I don't necessarily mind keeping him right there just because I get worried like the window is gonna like fade his paintwork or something. Probably wouldn't, but I do get concerned about that. So that is Ramone's and that little path. You can't continue straight, but it is another dead end, which leads to Stanley's statue. So that's not a duplicate. I just thought it made more sense to display Stanley in the actual town. We have a tractor right there. I put him there specifically because that's like an iconic scene from Cars. Once I get tractor with tire in mouth, I'll probably replace it and put the tire with in mouth version where this one is, and then move this one probably in back there. So then we get into, obviously, we have Luigi's shop with an extra Luigi and Guido. Those are my very damaged 2006 original versions from like my childhood. I just put them there because, again, you need a Luigi and Guido to go with the shop. I need an extra Flo to go with Flo's, or I guess I have this one, but I don't know. I really should move her over here. I'll have to think about that. Alright, so I had to get to the other side of the table and zoom in a lot here to try and show off Luigi's shop with a good angle, and you'll see that the camera is very shaky. Not really sure why, but it is, so oh well. Then we have the, leaning tower of tires, very iconic. And then that brings us to the Curio shop. I don't know how I'm gonna show off the Curio shop. I guess I can kind of go back like this. So you can see the Curio shop, obviously across from Flo's, just like in the movie. This entire downtown is obviously just like it is in the movie. The 4 core buildings that go there. I do have a galloping gear grinder there because I always thought the galloping gear grinder kind of looked like Lizzie, and I needed a space to put her, so I decided I would put her in there for now because it kind of works. I do have some extra signage. So, for example, I have a traffic light sign right there, which, very reminiscent to the actual movie because this is the intersection where there would be the like overhead blinking light. So I kind of replicated that poorly with this traffic light here, but it's close enough. It'll work for me. And then I also have a stop sign right there. So that is the downtown of my Radiator Springs. Again, pretty basic, because that is basically just how it is in the movie, obviously. The cozy cone, not at all where it is in the movie. It would be on this side, and it would be a lot further back. But, like I said, creative liberties because I film here. Since I'm also a YouTuber, I need space to film, so this section of my table I need to have clear at all times. Alright, so like I said, you can turn left right here at Luigi's, and then you have this strip. I do have an extra Alex Macchino. I don't know how I ended up with two. Oh, yeah, yes I do. I got the single version, and then like a couple years later, they did that 2-pack of Alex and Giuseppe, and I needed Giuseppe, so I bought that 2-pack, and I had an extra Alex. Also, again, very similar to what I did with the nighttime semis and Scott Tiller and stuff, I have a Dustin Mellows here. Not because it's an extra, but because it's so big I needed somewhere else to put him. So, you can follow this road, and it leads into the entrance to the Rust-eze Racing Center. So, you kind of have to use your imagination and pretend that, like, right here is, like, the wall to the racing center. The road doesn't connect perfectly. It's not centered. But that's just kind of how it works because, again, trying to maximize space, so I have to push this stuff down a bit. So you go in, and it leads you to this, which is the Tune-Up Center set, I believe it's called. And I will actually be doing a video on this in the very, very near future. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, you come in. This is where I keep all of my trainees, because again, I would like to have this area populated. That's an extra fabulous McQueen from this set. Yeah, we have lots of different things for them to do here. We have the little car wash. That can, like, I'll show this more in the video I'm going to do on this, but this, like, flips up, and I just knocked, is that Ronald or Junie? I honestly don't remember. Knocked one of them forward. But yeah, you can follow this ramp up to this platform here, and, again, pretend that maybe there's, like, a second floor here. Obviously, I can't replicate that in any way, but, pretend. Now, you can turn into this part of the racing center, and this is the Quick Change Garage, which I did a video on recently. And you can see here we've got the little VR training space with Jay with VR headset. This is a collector card for Rust-eze Cruise, which right now is just serving as a sign, because now there is a 95. They have that, like, giant 95 sign in the racing center. Basically looks like this, except it's, like, on the ground. We're going to pretend that's what this is. And I also have my Tom W. collector card there, because, again, don't know where else to put it, so I'm putting it generally where the racing center stuff is. You have another McQueen there, another Maddie McGear. That's from the Maddie and Chris 2-pack that I just did a video on. She's just there temporarily. I'll probably put her in storage. Yeah, like I said, so the roads here connect, and this is the garage, or Quick Change Garage Center. I don't know. I'm getting the names of all of these sets mixed up. It's really baffling. But this is obviously where you would exit, so you can't actually enter in through here. So you would come around this way. You have this little space right here where Millie is currently cleaning. This is a little, like, workstation. And then you have this platform here where Ernesto is on. We'll pretend that's the simulator. That's at least what I'm going with. And yeah, you can go in the quick change garage that way. And then I do have my Kurt variations and my Sterling variations on the roof because, again, not sure where else to put them. All I know is I want them near the other racing center stuff. And so again, just like I said, there's an imaginary wall and entrance to the racing center here. Same thing here. You know, you pretend there's a giant wall here. And this is the entire racing center building. So that is the entirety of the actual town layout in terms of how it's connected. But this isn't my entire building setup, I guess you could say. If we move down here, you can see I have a prop wash junction set up too, but this is like not at all how I want it set up. But because of storage limitations, I had to like break up this layout and kind of get creative with it. So you can see like this piece here isn't connected to anything as this side, because they're supposed to connect here, but it's obviously too long to fit, so I had to, again, take some liberties. But yeah, this is actually where I display all my plane stuff. All of it is just chilling on this layout here. But yeah, the main thing I want to talk about is I also have this, the Piston Cup Racing Garage, which used to be displayed, not here. I recently moved it to the floor. It used to be displayed here, where my Cars Tune and Mario Kart stuff is currently residing. But I needed space, so I moved stuff around. And yeah, now it is not a part of... Well, I mean, it was never a part of the town layout before, because like I said, it was on the other side of the room. But now it's just on the floor. I really wish that I could incorporate it into this setup. Like, obviously, there's plenty of space right here, but I don't know. With recording and having to do videos, I would have to, like, take it off the layout every single time, and it just becomes a hassle, honestly. I don't really think it's worth it. Now, I really want to get the Red's Fire Station playset, which is basically just a courthouse building, and I have no idea where I would put that. What would probably have to happen realistically is putting it here and then moving these down, which again, I run into that problem I was just saying where when I go to record, I'd have to move the sets around and it just becomes a hassle. So I do want to get that set and make a video on it, but I don't know where I'd actually display it. But yeah, this is my entire town layout. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this very random video. I was pretty much just rambling, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to show off just kind of what my layout looked like. Yeah, you will see this more in a more professional presentation later on this year when I do a new collection video. So yes, I am going to be doing a new one of those this year. But that you will have to stay tuned for. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, how do you display your Radiator Springs buildings? Do you try and go for, you know, movie accurate as possible, kind of like what I did with my downtown area? Or do you take some liberties and create an entirely new take on Radiator Springs? Like the way I have my Cozy Cone and Racing Center set up. And yes, I pretty self-explanatory, but obviously in this layout, the Racing Center is located in Radiator Springs. We're going to pretend that this is the quote-unquote racing headquarters that was opened after, or in the epilogue of Cars 1. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, let me know in the comments how you display your town, and I will see you all in the next video.